Greetings, everybody, on what is at this end Sunday, February 13th. I thought I would get some hopefully quick notes out today, although it may not end up that way, in terms of what's going on at this end and looking forward. I guess a good place to start is to remind everybody that the Trading After Dark site, tradingafterdark.net, is really going to become the main microphone and podium for this blog going forward. I just don't know how frequently I'm going to be able to get posts up due to a lot of priorities at this end that I'll touch on in a second. This blog will remain intact, and I think the value of this blog is the 2.5 years of intellectual capital that you can go back. It's going to stay on the web. You can go back and review. It's in essence, as many people have said, like the reminiscences of a stock operator book, except a day-by-day live evolution in terms of a trader's life and a trader's intent to motivate and encourage and help others. And so all of that material will remain here. There are links on this new site that go back to the original blog. There are index links on the new site. I'm still going to try to use the next day Jellie prep blurb in the right-hand column as frequently as possible, and use the mini blog update in the top right corner of the blog pretty much every day. So please check back and check those areas. But in terms of the main communication, the Trading After Dark site is going to take precedent. Again, I just don't know how frequently I'm going to be able to get episodes up. Many of you know that I've assumed a chief investment officer role for an investment firm, which is obviously a priority and taking up a lot of my time. We structured in a way, as I've said before, such that I can continue to train traders and I can continue to trade, which are very important items for me. And so we're going to continue to do that. Over the next month, though, we'll be starting the 2011 Jellie training. So for the next 4 weeks, it's going to be a little tough. But I am going to record some sequences, and I'm going to get those up on Trading After Dark. So just stay patient and keep everything in mind in terms of the conflicting priorities. My schedule over the next several months is chock full between the Jellie training efforts and the CIO role and a number of efforts that I'm involved in on a non-trading, non-business perspective, some of which I've talked about in the past. Upcoming May 2011 Walk to Emmaus for Southern New England, I'm going to be involved in planning that. Our church is starting another effort on Alpha. I'm involved with that. We're also starting a Saturday morning men's group based on the Wild at Heart series that are all very, very important to me. And so this year for me is an evolution from trader to trader and doing some other things with his life. And so I appreciate all the support that you've given me over the last several years, and I appreciate your understanding and how we evolve this. Having said that, I'm so excited about the Trading After Dark effort, the reaction and the views and the emails. I'm just overwhelmed. I thought we had something, but didn't realize that it really is the tip of the iceberg thing, and it's going to be my intent to get as much content up there as possible. Again, real-life examples, a mix, low stakes, high stakes, good, bad, and so just please be patient, but thank you for the tremendous response that you've given me. Having said all that, I'm going to use this video as efficiently as I can today and address the incoming Jellie team and just let everybody else listen on. And so I'm going to just do that. We are tomorrow going to start a 4-week effort that is unlike, I think, anything that you've probably ever seen or ever will see. And I ask, again, everybody to go through the webinars, which are essentially the prerequisite for this. It allows everybody to come into the effort on Monday with common knowledge, common base. And it also allows you to review and reinforce the key learnings that the first beta group, the one that we took through 8 weeks, presented at the end of the 8th week. And so it's just very important for you, it will be very important for you to basically see their takeaways as you start this effort so that you can keep an eye on them as we go through this effort. And I think one of the things you'll find is that there are certain common themes which are just critically important. You also see these in the 3 Jellie blog posts that are linked, and I'll put a link in this post as well, that were actually written, unsolicited by the way, but written by Jellies of that first team that I think can further help you identify what they got out of it and why we've constructed it the way it is. I've tweaked it a little bit over the past 6 efforts. This will be the 7th. And each time we've been able to make it a little bit better and take out some of the things that maybe didn't work as well and incorporate some things that people were looking for. Above all, I want to remind everybody that this is not going to be and has never intended to be a let's trade all day long effort. And I still see with some of the jellies that came through the first few efforts a tendency to treat all times of the day the same, or to treat every trade sequence the same way, and to assume that you may get those spread out fairly evenly over the course of time in general. It's not a big issue, but I see it crop up every now and then, and I've got to reinforce the fact that that's not the case. The idea in this business is to find those 1 or 2 solid opportunities a day, to stock them the day before, the morning before, if it's an afternoon sequence that we think is setting up, stock it and trade it well. There still may be some liquidity providing trades that you can make as we await those opportunities, but by and large, that's what this has always been about. And so I just want to reinforce this. It's very important to say this, though, at the start, because we are essentially together from 8:15 a.m. Eastern until the market bell closes at 4:15 on the futures market. And also, the fact is that a lot of the opportunities, the best futures opportunities, comes outside of those hours, comes during the Globex hours. Most of the profits by many traders lately have, over the past year, have occurred before the U.S. session opens. And so we're going to talk a lot about that during the effort. But having said all that, it's still about, whether it's during the Globex time or the U.S. morning session or whatever, it's still about finding those couple of key sequences and trading them well and staying out of the rest. So we use a lot of the time to not trade, to basically stock and observe and set up the next play, and to talk about what it's like to be a trader and what it's like to realize that between 2 and 4 o'clock that there usually isn't a whole lot in terms of high probability, and even though I've been given the suggestion to forego the afternoon sessions so as to reinforce it in that manner, I still feel it's important to be here together during that time, so you get the fact that we may be stocking and observing and planning, but we may not be trading, and we likely won't be trading, and that's just the way it is. Stock, attack. And so I just want to get that point out. Again, you can look at the former Jelly blog posts and that last webinar number 8, that was presented or created by all of the Jelly participants, and I asked them to give us their top 3 takeaways. And you'll see some very common themes. Market bias. You'll see that in the presentation. You'll see that in the Jelly posts. Market bias is so key. If you can understand the market bias, if you can understand what the market's likely to do at any given point in time, and someone sent me a blog comment post recently on this, then this business doesn't get easy, of course, but it gets a lot simpler, because you can make a lot of mistakes, and as long as you understand the bias, you can usually work around that and work around yourself to minimize them. So we're going to spend a lot of time on that. I'm very much looking forward to it. We're going to have a really good-sized group. It's going to be a modest size. Again, I do not mass market this. I enjoy the people that come to this effort. Average age is still around 49. People that have run businesses elsewhere or want to take this on as a second business, and all there for the right intentions, all professional, mature, no BS. It's a self-weeding process. Even though I had to screen for that first group because there were so many that wanted to do it, since then it's just been self-screening. If people find their way here and are looking for something solid, then that's what this is about. But I don't go chasing it. I don't go to the expos, and I don't chase business, and I never will. By the way, stupid business plan, as I've said before, but that's what I'm comfortable with, and how this will remain, by the way, for the foreseeable future. So anyway. That is a quick note to everybody who's coming into the program and everybody looking on. Reminder that the webinars will remain available to everybody. I'm not going to take them down off the site. For those that don't have the time or the financial resources to commit to the extended 4-week effort, just to let you know that those remain available. So, again, just a quick blog post on a Sunday. A lot going on at this end. Keep tabs on Trading After Dark. I will continue to Twitter when those new episodes are up, and I'll continue to comment from time to time on this site as well. But don't forget all the past material that's embedded in the 2.5 years of both blogs. So, having said that, God bless. Have a great trading week, and we'll catch you again soon. Take care.